So you may have been hearing that the paper media is kind of dead. It might be dying. We have no idea. Well, to kind of help us bust that myth, I am so excited to introduce Missy Dawkins, owner of Windsor City Lifestyle magazine. Missy, thank you so much for being here and shedding some light on this subject.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. And print is not dead. I'm definitely here to tell you that.
Right, and because you used to work at the chamber.
I did, the Greeley Chamber. Yes,
I remember because you were the one that onboarded me.
I am.
I don't know if you remember. You onboarded a lot of people. Okay, and then you went on to do your own publication, and that's the Windsor City Lifestyle magazine.
Mm-hmm.
So tell me, how did you get into that? Because I came from the Greeley Tribune.
Yes.
And I got laid off during COVID and it would I watched the paper slowly start dwindling. So that was my I guess my misconception is that print media is kind of going out the window. I'm like, okay, well, maybe I should move on to greener pastures. But you actually went on to open up your own magazine, and it's still doing really well.
It's doing very, very well. So to answer your question, the way that I started is there is actually a Greeley Lifestyle publication, and Tara Rasmussen owns that. And as a smart businesswoman, she joined the chamber when I was there. And we just became fast friends. And I was a little bit of her cheerleader. And I loved what she had going on. I'd been featured in it a couple of times because of awards. And then the chamber as a whole had just been, been in the magazine several times because of what we have going on. So again, I just was her cheerleader, and we just were hanging out and having a good time. And then about 2 years had passed. No, that's not true. I would say a year had passed, and she asked me to lunch, and I thought it was just two friends having lunch.
Yeah.
And she shared I won't go into all the details. She shared the opportunity with me. At first, thought she was crazy. And 5 days later, I was in a signed agreement to open Windsor City Lifestyle. City Lifestyle is a franchise. We're in almost every state now and in hundreds of cities. It's my job to tell the heartbeat of Windsor and the surrounding areas. And thankfully, there's one in Fort Collins, there's one in Loveland, there's one in Greeley, and of course, Windsor. We're actually celebrating our 3 years.
All right, yes.
2026.
Congratulations.
And we all work really well together, which is so nice that all of us publishers work well. We collaborate when it makes sense. And to answer your question about print dead, I am definitely going to tell you that it is definitely not dead. And I think the other thing that makes us stand out is that we're not just print. So we're print, we're digital. We also have a social media presence, a fairly large social media presence. We also are doing social media ads. And what really stands out for me and Windsor City Lifestyle is our events. Our events are sought after. They are, sometimes we have, depending on what the event is there's anywhere from 100 people there to hundreds of people there. So I love a good event. Yeah. Everybody knows that I can put on a good event. So I think that if it was just print, maybe that would be another conversation. However, with the way that the world is going and us just keeping on with escalating and adding on to what we have is just extremely important, and it keeps us relevant, and staying relevant is the key, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Staying relevant is massive, and that's awesome because I didn't think you guys had the event side. I would have assumed you have a digital side possibly, and with the digital, it's kind of at least from the Tribune, it's here's the articles that you would have gotten in the paper. Right. And again, I imagine it's a little bit more in depth than just hey, here's the articles you get in the magazine.
So everything that you see on print, you get digitally. So anybody in the world can subscribe to citylifestyle.com/Windsor. Okay. It's free. It's there. And yes, it is just the publication. Okay. And so if you're not in the Windsor area and you're not, or even if you are in the Windsor area, but maybe because we go to 8,500 homes,
Wow.
Yeah, so we go to 85. So we have about 65,000 people reading our publication every single month. And I just want to clarify, everybody, since I'm the owner and the publisher of Windsor, we all, as owners, run our business differently. So what my events are may not look like the ones surrounding me.
Okay.
And they may not have as many, or maybe they have more, or it's really your, as the owner, it's your discretion. I just love a good event, and I come from an event background. So it's just something that I like doing. And it's definitely, my partners love that it's part of them being, they're getting invited to all of my events. So I have a couple of signature events. One is obviously I shouldn't say obviously, but one is my my anniversary. I always have. And I actually just solidified it. It's going to be April 2nd at Windsong. It will be invite only. And I will easily have 400 plus people in that space that night.
Wow.
And then my other signature event, which is really fun because it is collaborating with the Greeley community, which is always near and dear to my heart. Kicking off the Greeley Stampede Windsor style. This year it will be at Highland Meadows Grill, which this will be my 4th year doing it. And my 3rd year doing it at Highland Meadows Grill.
Yeah.
And that is open to the public. And we do giveaways for, the rodeo, the concerts. And you'll start following Windsor City Lifestyle on Instagram and or Facebook. And all of my events that are open to the public are always on there.
Okay. So you mentioned when you got started, it was like 5 days. At first you're like, no, I'm not going to do that. And then in 5 days you were signing the agreement.
I wouldn't say that I was, no, I'm not going to do it. I think I was more like, whoa, this is an opportunity. And it's kind of funny. So I'm a very black and white person. I'm a yes or a no. I don't need a lot of details. I believe in my intuition. My husband is very opposite. He wants all the details. He could be a yes, no, maybe yes, all the way down to a no in about 5 minutes. However, in this situation, when I shared with him the opportunity, he said, this is a no-brainer for you, Misty. Where do you sign?
Okay.
And honestly, it's the most scariest but rewarding thing I've ever done. I knew it was going to be good. I had no idea how good it was going to be.
Yeah.
And a little backstory is that I actually grew up in Windsor until my 6th grade year.
Okay.
So very serendipity to come back many years later and to see how much it's grown, to be a huge part of the community. I love Windsor. It's so fun to watch all the new businesses and the thriving businesses, and to be a pretty big part of all of that and to tell the stories. I'm a curious person.
Okay.
So to be able to tell people's stories, be part of the community, be somewhat of a pillar in the community, it's all checks. I don't have to clock in and clock out. I make my own schedule, and the money's not horrible.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, it sounds like you found a passion for sure, especially with the event side of things.
Yes.
Because I mean, with the Greeley Chamber, like they have some great events
they
going
do.
on, and then you coming from that, and then now hosting your own events. Which I haven't been to one yet, but I can only imagine you're
on the list,
good.
Clinton.
I'm on the list. Yes, I made the list. All right.
Second, put it on your calendar now.
Okay. Hold on. Let's see. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do this right now.
I love it.
We're gonna put it right
5
in.
to 7:30 at Windsong.
Okay, 5 to 7:30.
If you're interested and you don't think that you're invited, definitely give me a call, audience.
All right, got that in there.
I love
Perfect. Awesome. So how many events would you say that you kind of do during the year? You mentioned the year you got some big staples that you do, but I also imagine you kind of have some little events that go on throughout the year. What are some of those events kind of like?
One of the ones that I just had a couple weeks ago, I love to spoil my partners. And anybody, you may be like, what's a partner? Anybody that has an ad in my publication is who I call a partner. And it's a true partnership. Transparency, that's how I make my money, is selling the ads. However, I feel a partnership is very, very important. So I do partner appreciation events. That's just my partners. And what happens in that room is pretty magical. You get to see owners, CEOs, leaders of the community coming together and really getting to know each other. That's, kind of wining and dining them. This last time I took them into a new location in Windsor that is one of my partners, which is Twin Staves. It's a new cocktail lounge downtown Windsor. Highly recommend. It's just so beautiful in there. Hunter Hashiko, which a lot of people know, him and his team just opened up about a month ago, and it's absolutely beautiful in there. Awesome. Highly recommend.
Okay.
A little plug for Twin Staves.
Yeah. I mean, plug away. I mean, that's the whole point of this podcast, is to try to connect small businesses, other businesses that people just may not know about. Yeah. Right. We're on a new set. If you guys haven't noticed by now, we are on a new set. This is another set that we have in the studio. And so just thought, from a magazine, we kind of be a little bit more relaxed. So, but yeah, I mean, I love that you are going out and finding these businesses that are within the community. How do you go about finding that? Because the whole point of me like doing Built in Noco kind of came from when I first moved to Greeley in 2015. It was 2019, and then they're like, "Oh yeah, have you tried this place?" "No, I haven't." "Yeah, it's by UCCC," and we're like, "What's UCCC?" Like we knew nothing, right? Because we're sitting here Googling stuff, but the only thing that's popping up for us is, big corporations. Yeah. And if you need something, or if you want to go an adventure, it's usually who has the most advertising dollars. But there could be a small business, a mom and pop shop has been around for years. Yes. So how do you go about finding these? Because I feel like that's mostly your job right there.
Well, honestly, just being involved in the community. So a no-brainer for me is being a part of the Windsor Chamber. I'm an ambassador. They're highly involved in not just small businesses, just all businesses, businesses that have been around for a long time to new businesses. Also having a relationship with the town of Windsor and going to those planning meetings, finding out what's coming in, what's going out, I think it's really important for us to know how our community is growing and just being involved. I mean, that's the key. I do a lot of networking. I am a part of a couple of networking groups. So yeah, just being able, like, showing up is so important. Show up.
Yeah.
And thankfully, I think Windsor City Lifestyle and I have a good reputation, I hope.
Yeah.
And the thing about me is I love community. I love bringing people together. It gives me no bigger joy to see somebody that's like, "Hey, I'm looking for X, Y, and Z." And I'm like, "Oh my gosh, you got to meet this person." And doing like connecting, cheerleading, community. Like I was kind of born to be a part of what I am a part of now. And I'm really happy. And I love collaborating with the people around me, the businesses around me, when it makes sense. You were asking about other events. And I collaborate quite often with like Noco Unify, different nonprofits, if it makes sense. I don't know if you know what Noco Unify is, but they're the ones highly recommend. They're the ones that put on, I'm sure you've heard the Down and Derby.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So they're a nonprofit, wonderful nonprofit. And they're not just in Windsor, they're in Noco Unify. So all of Northern Colorado. They're just amazing. They put on amazing events. They're actually getting ready to do a parade, a St. Patrick's parade in Fort Collins. So kind of getting off on a tangent, but it makes sense for me. Many times it makes sense for me to collaborate with other businesses to get Windsor City Lifestyle out there.
Okay.
So, yeah.
how could someone, so you mentioned about getting it out there, and you mentioned it was 6,500 homes, correct? Was that the number?
8,500. So we go to 8,500 homes and businesses.
Okay.
And of the affluent, so we start at 640,000 and we go up from there. However, anybody, again, can subscribe digitally.
Mm-hmm.
And the businesses that we go to are where anybody's waiting. So coffee shops, automotive, salons, doctor's office, dentist offices, you get the anywhere where anybody's grabbing and reading.
Okay. So can anyone just like show up to like a local coffee shop and then find a City Lifestyle of Windsor City Lifestyle magazine, or is there specific spots that you guys?
Well, they go to 500 businesses. So meaning, so 500 businesses. I actually drop off. I have about 6 drop-offs. So one is Luna's in Windsor. One is The Hearth in Windsor. I guess I don't have to say Windsor. All of these places are in Windsor. The Hearth restaurant has a Windsor City Lifestyle magazine rack. Luna's, Highland Meadows Grill, which is right on the golf course. Of course, the Windsor Chamber. And I also drop off at Clearview Library. Mm-hmm. And I feel like I'm missing a place. And oh my goodness. Oh, and then the waiting space between Thai Host and Peculiar Ale.
Okay.
All of those are drop-off spots for so a stack of Windsor City Lifestyle are in those places.
Okay. And about how often do you guys kind of, because right, like it's a print. This isn't like a newspaper where it gets printed every single week. So it's every month. Yep. You can go in and get a new issue and see what's going on and around Windsor.
That is correct. Yep. So and every month is themed. So you'll notice now that I've told you that, like January, man, that wasn't very smart of me. I should have my magazine in front of me. I might have to do that before we leave. I'll get my newest because I just got my February issue.
Oh, okay.
Which is beautiful.
Yes.
The cover is the mural at Life Stories.
Okay.
Which is a beautiful, it's such a wonderful nonprofit that I'm a big advocate. Even before Windsor City Lifestyle, I've been a huge advocate for what Life Stories does. So anyway, all that being said, every month is themed. So like January is the health and wellness. February is the love issue. March is the home issue. There's 12 months, so there's 12 themes.
Yep. There's gotta be 12
You don't want to know all of them, but you get what I'm trying to say.
Well, I'm trying to think like, what is June?
June is the men's issue.
Oh, okay. I was like, there's not much going on in June.
Yeah, there's actually a lot going
curious.
on in June because it is. And then May is the ladies' issue. So, you got Mother's Day in May, you got Father's Day in June.
Oh, okay. That
so,
makes
yeah.
sense.
So, I would say May and June are some of our most popular months just because normally we highlight leaders of our community. So.
And then with like the leaders, do they get nominated by people? Like, how do you guys go about like getting the stories and compiling those?
You just keep your ear to the ground, ear to the ground to what's going on and what makes sense. And, I have a team, I have an editor. I also have writers and photographers. So we're just always listening for stories. Sometimes people inquire, let us know about things that are going on. We talk as a team, what makes sense. A lot of my partners, again, that pay for advertising, they get stories. It's part of their partnership, depending on what level they come in at. Uh-huh. So yeah, there's just a lot of factors.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
We love to talk about, again, leaders, nonprofits, businesses, people. Like August is our pets and kids issue. Who doesn't want to read about sweet pets and beautiful children? So yeah, I'm honestly always looking for good ideas, always up to have a good conversation with people.
Yeah.
And especially the other thing is that it makes sense to print it in Windsor, so like some things, sometimes, in fact, like Noco Unify was in all 4 of our magazines this last year because it made sense. But you do have to make sure that it, like I'll get calls from, a place that's not Windsor and doesn't really have anything to do with Windsor,
Yeah.
probably doesn't make sense in my publication, but it might make sense in another publication. So,
Yeah.
but I'm always up for a conversation.
Yeah. And I love that you guys, you're listening and you're trying to keep things like local based. And I feel like that is where a lot of media can like stray away, because it starts becoming, okay, well, this is happening down in Denver and this is happening in Texas. And it's like, okay, but what about my
Right here.
community? What's happening in my community? Oh yeah, there's like an event going on or something. It's like, you get like this one little corner of a page like of here's all the events in your area. And it's just like, well, we're trying to print what people want to hear. And I commend you on that for making sure that you guys are staying true to the local. So in that way people can stay better connected within their community.
Well, and just to, again, make sure people know that print's not dead. 3 years ago, we started at 36 pages. We're now at 60. And we're still now growing, So to say that print is dead, I actually enjoy the conversation, because I think, there's still people that, I personally want to read a book. Yeah. I am not an Audible girl. Sometimes I do listen to them because I have, like a long drive or whatever, but I still love libraries and bookstores. And so we have the cutest bookstore in Windsor, and it's called Words of Windsor. It's adorable and highly recommend. And then we also, I'm just going to say, because we are here in this area, there's several bookstores. Like, go to the bookstore. Don't go to Amazon.
Yes.
Local, everybody. Please, please, please.
Yeah.
We keep on hearing about these businesses that are closing around us, restaurants and small businesses. And we're all guilty. We all have done our little Amazon thing. But when it makes sense, not even sometimes when it makes sense, be more cognizant. I'm going to get on my little soapbox, but be cognizant of where you're spending your money. Like, local is just so important. And it breaks my heart when I see these businesses closing. And some of them are dear friends of mine. And it's just heartbreaking. So please be more cognizant of where you're spending your money and where you're taking your family out and all the things.
Yeah.
There's so many great places in Northern Colorado.
Yeah. And I appreciate you saying that, because Amazon is not always the best solution. Like, if you guys aren't careful, Amazon's charging you double for some of the stuff that's on there that you could easily get here locally somewhere else. And to kind of hit on the bookstore, like, yeah, you get like a complete different vibe or feel, and you get to like talk to the owner, and they're, hey, have you tried this? My wife loves midnight oil, so that's
I do too.
here in Greeley.
I do too.
And they did something really cool. It's was it like book to screen? She does it quite often. So you read the book,
okay,
and then you go to the Crest, so another local theater, and you watch the movie.
Oh,
so you go through it. You go through it on your. It's not like you have to like read the book to see the movie. It's just kind of like a little fun way of kind of tying the two together. And so, yeah, like going into midnight and just seeing all the intricacies and like all the books, and yeah, more oftentimes than not, you're going to get probably a better deal, if not the same deal you would on Amazon. And your dollar just went further to help support
actual family,
family.
And not to say there's not families taking care of Amazon, but they don't need our help.
Yeah.
When I go and shop at Words of Windsor and I'm looking for a gift, and there's just, to be able to help a small business like that is priceless, really. And even if it is a little bit more expensive, it's okay. Like, $2 more isn't gonna break the bank. So
yeah. And that's why I enjoy, like Windsor City Lifestyle being in here, is because you guys are very local and community focused. You're not just, yes, you mentioned you're nationwide, but again, you're not pushing stuff. You run it differently than what the Greeley City Lifestyle is going to be, or the Fort Collins City Lifestyle is going to be. I don't know if there's one in Denver, but you guys are all different.
There's several in Denver.
But
the thing about it is it's their responsibility to be like they're local too. So like, I mean, Greeley is just a great example. Tara does an amazing, her and her team are, I'm sure you see the Greeley Lifestyle publication.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. And she does an amazing job sharing all local about Greeley. It's very important to us, and it's important to every publisher. Even though there's 200, I believe there's 250 of us throughout the country, they're still talking about their local community.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's not a newspaper. We're not, we're not Biz West. We're not Denver Post or the Beacon. Remember the Beacon back in the day in Windsor? Actually, the Beacon's no longer, So it's definitely, and it only comes out once a month. Highly recommend, though. My social page, Windsor City Lifestyle, Instagram and Facebook, I am very, very active on there, talking about events and things that are going on in the Windsor area. So please tune in.
Yeah, absolutely. I want to ask one more question, just from.
Should I hold on? Oh my gosh. Should I be nervous?
You're good. So the stories that you find, has there ever been a time where it's like you're about to like come up on that deadline, especially coming from like so I was a paginator, right? So I placed the ads on the newspaper, and then the content got floated around it. Was there ever a time where it's like, oh man, like I don't know what we're gonna print? Like, what is that process like?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
No, I work probably too far in advance. My editor Dana would probably tell you that I make people crazy. So like right now, my March issue's done, my April issue's almost done, and I'm well into May.
Okay.
So I am somebody that plans quite a bit ahead. I mean, has there been a couple of times maybe, and I don't even remember why I wanted to come and grab this, but this is the newest one. This is the February issue. I don't know when this will air.
Yeah.
It might be in April and it'll be irrelevant, but this is the February issue. And then we've got January and December. So in November, they're just beautiful. The covers are just so beautiful. And
yeah.
Something that we're really proud of.
I was going to say, that's the one thing I like about the covers too, is it's still like this isn't like just stock imagery you guys are throwing in here just to get some sort of, right. So from the digital side, like you've got your hook, you got to hook the people. You're still hooking the people, but you're not like trying to hook them with an AI image or anything like you. It is like, hey, this is like the main story, and you guys publish that, so it's staying fresh and it's staying relevant, and people can relate and resonate with it. And they might even go like, oh, like, so like for the February, like they might go, oh, I know her, and then they like instantly go into it. It's not just some,
stock
superhero like kid image, like okay, that's cool. Like people will actually probably look at her and go, oh yeah, and then they will like keep this forever.
Yeah, I mean, every once in a while in like an ad or something, there might be a stock image, but for the most part, it is very local, very community driven. And again, I do want to reiterate that we're always looking for good story ideas as long as it makes sense for Windsor.
Yeah.
I'm all ears. All ears.
So how would they get in contact with you? Is there like a form? Is social media the best way to reach out? What would be if someone said like, oh my goodness, I got this great Windsor story you may not know about? How would they submit that to you?
Well, I just want to be super transparent. We have a lot of kind of like a waiting list. So we're always looking for story ideas, but you may not, I mean, we'll get back to you right away, but it might be a story idea that, we just might not have time for, or that we've already got. I just don't want to promise too much, right?
Yeah.
But always reach out to me. So you can reach me on social media. I truly respond to all my DMs. So Windsor City Lifestyle, Instagram and or Facebook, Windsor City Lifestyle. My email is misty.dawkins, DOCKINS, @citylifestyle.com. You can email me. And those would be the best ways to get a hold of me.
Awesome.
Absolutely.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, awesome. Well, so if you guys are ever in the Windsor area, definitely check out the Windsor City Lifestyle magazine. Whether you're up here, there's a lot of people who come up here and they take in Estes Park definitely stop in Windsor. It's a great little city. They got a lot going on. You talk about these like little mountain towns. I feel like Windsor is like that little mountain town. It's not in the mountain. It's on it's on the front range. It's not in the mountains, but you get that same feel. You get that same vibe.
So many great restaurants, so many great coffee shops, boutiques. There's some real hidden gems in Windsor. I wish I could go through the whole thing, but yeah, we'd be here for a bit.
Yeah, well, we'll just kind of like make that like a separate episode. All right, we're gonna list off starting with A.
Yes. Fun fact about I'm so sorry you were like we got to wrap this up, but fun fact about Windsor, there's over 20 patios, restaurant patios.
Oh my goodness,
over 20, and I actually listed them a couple of years ago. And just FYI, over 20 patios in Windsor, Colorado.
There you go.
Restaurants, bars, fast food, those kind of things.
Are they open on the winters? I feel like this winter.
I mean, they're open as long as people are out there, I would assume. Yeah. I mean, gosh, we've had such a weird winter. Yeah,
it's been feeling like spring. I was actually out doing yard work the other day. I was like, I think we're ready for this. Yeah, I think we're going to go ahead and start the yard work. But Missy, thank you so much for being on here and shining some light on Windsor City Lifestyle, and just letting us know that there's some great stories out there. And if people want to get involved, or if you just want to stay up to date, I mean, look for a local magazine publication. That's one way that you can support them, because then they know, hey, the issue's being read, and they can push out more content that way. So
yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much, Clinton.
Awesome. Thank you.